All right, welcome. So here we're going to discuss how we solve a Rubik's Cube. But first, before we get into the actual solving process, there's a few basics that I want to go through here in this document, and then we will jump into solving our cube. So first is this idea of the different parts of the cube. So here I have a picture of a cube. Uh, when we're holding it, the side of the cube, there's 6 sides on a cube that's facing us is called the front side. We denote that with an F. The side that's right up the top is called the upper side. Denote that with a U. The side that's underneath, we call the downside. We denote that with a D. Of course, you have the side to the right of the front. That is the right side, the R side. And the side to the left, it's called the left side or the L side. And we have the back side, the side that's behind us, the B side. Most of the things that we're going to be looking at will be working with the upper, the right, the front, and the left. We don't really have any processes that are specifically algorithms that we're going to be using that will involve the B and D side, although there are ones out there. We're trying to keep things as simple as possible. So in algorithms, we use a notation. So when we use a notation here like U, that means to take the U side, the upper side of the picture here, and we want to turn that a quarter turn, just like a clock does. So that would be actually taking this back corner and sliding it around, turning the top so that now this yellow, this green, yellow, blue, I believe is or red corner here will actually slide around to replace this green, orange, yellow if we did a U move. Same thing for R, F, and so on. If an F would be turning that a quarter turn like a clock, or right quarter turn like a clock. If you see a symbol followed by a prime sign, that means that we're going to turn the upper face a quarter turn counterclockwise. Okay, and if it's followed by a number, usually a 2, that means we're going to turn the upper face a half, or whatever face it is, in this case the upper face, U2, a half turn. So we two quarter turns. Okay. A lot of times we won't really deal with these too much. I won't mess around with these too much for some of the earlier steps. So we might just use stuff like, say, take the R side up, take the U side to the left, the R side down, the U side to the right. It's when we get to the last layer that we want to include these algorithms. 2 very basic algorithms that we'll use, and I'll show you how these work in a moment. In the original tutorial I got it from, they were called triggers, right and left triggers, and that is turn the right face up, U, and then R prime, U prime. And likewise, L prime, U prime, L, U. And again, I'll show those to you on a cube here in just a moment. If you repeat any of those 6 times, that will take the cube back to its own state. But again, if you don't want to really bother with this prime and notation, get wrapped up in that too much yet, you can think of those for now as just R up. So you're turning the R side up towards the top. You're turning the upper side towards the left side, right? You're then turning R back down towards the bottom, and then you're turning U back to the right side. If you want to think about that right now instead of these ideas. Before we get to the actual cube, there is one other thing I want to point out, and that is the parts of a cube. Right, a cube's made up of 6 centerpieces, or 6 centers. So if you look around the cube, those are fixed. Those never change. They're always going to be where they're at. There are 12 corner pieces. In this picture, you can see 4 of them. There are 12 corner pieces. Every corner has 3 colors associated with it. And you have 8 edge pieces. Edges are the ones that are touching the center. See, corners don't directly touch the center, but the edges do. And they have 2 colors. So those are the different parts of the cube. So we'll be looking at, as we solve things, dealing with edges and corners. Centers, of course, are going to stay put. So let's move on now and actually pull out a cube.